Well, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you find us coming in your ears around the world, around Australia. Thank you for joining the My Love of Golf podcast for another episode. This episode is brought to you by Mike, Rocket, Ross, with a little bit of support from our friends over at Drum & Golf. And the guys are here waiting. Not too much to talk about, but I'm sure that we will find a way to fill somewhere in the vicinity of an hour. And if you listen, we thank you. And like, share, subscribe, do all the wonderful things that helps this podcast get into the air. It was actually our biggest month of podcast downloads in the history of the My Love of Golf podcast. So it amazes me every month that more and more people tune in. So whoever you are around the world, some of you we do know and we love you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let's get the guys in. They're waiting eagerly after the music. Gentlemen, good evening. It's evening time here in Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to you. Magic Mike, I will go to you first. Oh, sorry, I called you Mike in the intro. Sorry, I forgot your podcast name, Magic Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. It's been a busy week. It's only Tuesday night. I know it's so silly, but forgotten what day it is. I've got that much on. Rocket, how are you, buddy? Are you well? So, I'm informed when I've got the music button right on cue. How are you, mate? You well?
I'm good. I'm recovering.
Recovering? You're right up there. You had a weekend batching last week, but you were still sort of recovered from post-Melbourneitis. I'm sure you caught up on a few things. You've got something to talk about. You've got Rambo as your backdrop. Of course, you want to see our backdrops. Mine's just a podcast room here with a few magazines, a couple of relics, sets of golf clubs, a couple of nice pictures. A picture of my favourite place. Still my favourite place, Mike. I had 37 points last week, only 27 on Monday. I'm still trying to influence you to make it your favourite place. I've even donned the hat of the PK tonight. So if you're looking at me in the YouTube, you can see me with the PK hat and the beautiful Mike Cocking artwork behind the PK artwork. What's your backdrop, Mike?
Mine's TPC Potomac, where they're playing this week.
Oh, well,
if you're going to tell people the backgrounds and you're going to tell people that you're wearing a PK hat, you might want to tell people about your glasses.
Oh, my God.
Because that's going to be the
Jerry Garcia Grateful Dead glasses.
That's it. Stevie Wonder's introducing the room.
Well, you will see. Maybe you will. I'm not sure. We do the photo at the end. The photo you see on the Instagram. Follow that over at My Love of Golf. The photo we do at the end. So I might not have the sunglasses on at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. Not always, but yeah. If you watch the YouTube, you'll see my new sunglasses. Fresh look. And I got one person to thank, and that's our marketing director, Doc. Did Doc play golf last week with you at the GMGA finale?
He did. Well, he did play with me. Correct. Yeah, we did play together. We were partnered, second to the last group. We didn't win. We thought Doc was actually going to win for a little while there. We thought he was going quite well. He was going much better than myself and the other two in the group, but we didn't really know how the scores around the course were going. But he played really well, which was good. Fun call Doc marketing. He's marketing. I'm sort of admin, and you two guys are stats, data, and content. Doc is one of the great men of the great GMGA Association that comes to Barnbougle with us, and we've self-appointed him as marketing, but he is a marketing director of note. Just gives us a few little tips here and there. You will remember when we went to, if you asked about the glasses, I'm a gadget man. My late mum was a wonderful gadget lady. She loved a bit of home shopping, loved a bit of, getting the latest into the house, probably at much to my dad's behest. She probably passed that on to me, and I'm a gadget man. And when we were at Tassie, I don't know if you remember, if the Doc pulled out his Ray-Ban glasses that can take a photo. You know me with my photos. I'm loving the cameras. There's probably several of them upstairs. Up above me. I can only use one at a time, but there's probably three up there. Well, I had to get the glasses, didn't I? Have a look at them. I'm actually taking a video of you now. Video of you taking a video of me taking a video of you. You can see that by the little light there.
Oh, so you can take a video with your glasses, but you can't take a video with a drone of an eagle putt.
Yeah, no, I still can't get that right, but jeepers. Oh, anyway. So I'm taking a video of you, and there you go. And I can just press a button, and now I can take a photo.
So it's Ray-Ban Google Glass, is it?
I don't know what they are, but I bought them. Doc sold me on them. I just had them on my face. Anyway, there they go. Don't tell Mrs. Mob.
Doc's also a gadget man.
Yeah, that's why we get on so well. Two marketing geniuses sucked in by the marketing. If we've still got you, 3 minutes in, thank you. There we go. Normal programming resume. I can see everyone now. I've got glasses on. The last week in golf for me, if everyone wants an update there, I played on Thursday with the great Sam Doherty and a couple of his cohort. Had 37 points. It wasn't too bad. And enjoyed the round. Great company, great course. Peninsula Kingswood, future home of the President's Cup. And then backed it up. Drummer Golf have the annual franchise week this week. So what that means is all my fellow Drummer Golf franchise colleagues gather in Melbourne. We have a day of conferencing. It's also a day of awards. Most franchise businesses have awards for, great performances. My business is up for an award for the Big Swing Golf Franchise of the Year. So let's see if we can get that 2 years in a row tomorrow night. Report back on that next week. But we also have our annual golf tournament. So there's a stroke and a net trophy, a big trophy. The Bogle comes around and winds us all up. If he wasn't a golfer, he could have been a comedian, Brett Ogle. At least he thinks so anyway. He winds us all up and we play golf. And I think I backed up my 37 points with about 25 on Monday. And had no chance of getting the chocolates. But, Mike, sorry to keep the Peninsula Kingswood theme going. I'm going somewhere with this. So we had the franchisees of every drum and golf store around Australia. There's 50 of them. There's 50 of them because we're Australia's biggest. And maybe only 2 of them, 3 of them had seen Peninsula Kingswood before. And I could have started the petition for Peninsula Kingswood to be granted the President's Cup right then and there, and I would have had 50 signatures immediately. They could not believe how good it was. That goes without saying. But the enjoyable part for me was if you're a cricket fan, I'm not a massive...
Stark and Alicia Healy.
I'm a cricket fan. I'm a sports lover. My knowledge and depth of knowledge in cricket is not great. I know who Mitchell Stark is. I've had the pleasure of meeting him once very briefly. He came in to buy a dozen golf balls. I'd never met his partner, wife, Alicia Healy. But wow, what a wonderful couple, but what wonderful golfers they are. What wonderful golfers. So I had the absolute pleasure, thank you to the Drummer Golf, to host them around Peninsula Kingswood. They loved it. They'd been there before, but just, this journey of golf keeps delivering, and they just, delivered another wonderful couple of people that enjoyed a round of golf with. And, since learning a bit more about their stories, Alyssa winning the World Cup with, her... Also, who was there yesterday?
Her batting performances in those last 4 matches is something to behold. Absolute epic. She just tore everyone apart. She's the reason the women's team won the World Cup.
Yeah. So, I found that out and I worked it out beforehand. But as per, we don't really go and talk about too much of that sort of stuff. We just enjoy the golf. But Meg Lanning was also there, the captain of that team. She's a drum and golf, part of the drum and golf sort of connected ambassador family. And they just loved the place. And it was just really good fun to hang out with those people. And, big deal. I hear some people say, but, it's just always seeing professional athletes be humbled by a game of golf, be brought back to earth. And I guess that's the point, brought back to earth, realizing that they're elite at one level, but, they all want to be elite at golf and they're pretty good. But, they just have great days and bad days like the rest of us. And we just get out there and be normal golfers. So that was my couple of days in golf. Not much else. Good mail day today, gentle, the last couple of days. Here, have a look at this. Now I did pay for these; they weren't sent. I did support our fellow golf content people. Have a look at this. You won't be able to smell it, but my original Stevie,
Stevie Denims.
My Stonewash Stevie had run out of smell in the Nissan Navara mobile podcast studio, so I sent up an order to Old Salty. And they sent me down, which I paid for, a couple of Stevie Stonewashers, some great stickers. If you love a sticker and a golf sticker for the back of your laptop, I've got some stickers here. Look at those; they're beautiful. The Old Salty Dog. They do a great job.
I need to place an order with the boys.
You always get a nice little handwritten note, and
it was wonderful. But here's what I needed. This is what I really wanted. Western Birch Old Salty Dog teas. Got some of them. So good mail day there. What else did I get? I tell you what, Mrs. My love of golf. When during lockdown, and when I've been here working from home and she's at work, it's like on a daily basis, the front door is like delivery, and I go, oh, something for me, and it's always Mrs. My love of golf. It's another package from Zara, and it's just an endless stream of packages. Fair enough, and she drives them on, and most of them end up going back, and it's just a cycle. Today there was 1, 2, 3, 4 packages for me, which is very unusual. 2 Golfers Journal magazines. I don't know why they turned up back to back, 18 and 19. If you love golf photography like I do, you can see that there. It's just beautiful magazines. So I got my subscription of that. I got my teas. What else? I got a Peninsula Kingswood photo that I had printed by my photo guy, and there was like 3 big parcels. She filthed right up. She was livid. There was nothing there for her. Anyway, it was a good day.
It's funny they see more than if you get more than 2 packages, if you get 2 packages on one day, it's like, oh, how much more stuff are you getting delivered here? This is ridiculous. And I know, for example, Mrs. Rocket, she's had at least 3 packages every day this week. And then I had a couple of things the other day, and one of them was like a replacement leg for the caravan. She goes, oh, what have you ordered? I'm like, a replacement leg for the caravan.
Anyway, shout out to Old Salty. Thanks for that. Shout out to Christian Hafer. He's got some nice photos in those magazines. And whatever else. Shout out to Narry Warren Fine Art Printing, because he's taken a couple of my PK photos and put them onto this special paper. And I'm going to give one away one day. I'm going to get it framed and give it away because I've got plenty of them. But anyway, Mike, no chocolates for you at GMGA?
No. I would have had to shoot a good. I knew the way that the starts finished. So the way that the tournament starts, I'm already 6 behind the guy who was the leader. So I was always going to need to shoot around 75-ish, which is not out of the question. But scrappy par on 1, scrappy bogey on 2, and then it was just was fighting the breeze from there. It was very windy. We didn't get any rain, which was good. But no, didn't. I think I felt like I had anything between a 6 and 12 foot par putts all day, and that just drained me. I couldn't catch up.
So Sergeant Brennan couldn't arrest the lead, and the Bandits got away.
It was actually a very, very, very tight finish. Because we had the leader group behind us. So we kept sort of peering back to see what was going on. And there was the leader who'd started on 10, the second who'd started on 8 Stableford points, and then Scott had started on 7. And I think they worked on 17T, which is a par 3. They were all tied, all 3. Mind you, the person who was in second was on 29 points before his head start through 12. And then had a couple of wipes or a couple of poor holes, and the leader went 3 point, 3 point, 2 point, and all of a sudden it was very close. So it all came down to the last hole. And in the end, Stableford off the stick, I think it was the leader had 36 and second place had 37, but because he starts on 10 and the other guy starts on 8, he got up by 1, which was halves, which is good because he was the best player all year. So it's always good to see that person win. So yeah, he
would have smarted, but
it's funny. We expected the bloke who finished second to be quite disappointed. But to be fair, he did. So sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but being in the second to last group with Diesel, the president, I won't say we're the most knowledgeable golfers, but we always are referred to as if there's anything that needs to be sorted out in regards to rules, we'll be asked. And I think it was about the 12th or 13th hole, we got a phone call and we needed a ruling because the leading group, someone's had an air swing on the tee, missed the ball on the tee, off the tee. And I said, no, that's a shot.
There's no Zach Johnson. There's no Zach Johnson here.
That's it. It wasn't a practice swing. He tried to hit it. He missed it. That's a shot.
So what was out of put my Golf Rules Questions podcast hat on, which Blakey still got going. What was the question?
The question was, is it a shot or is it not a shot? Does he get a penalty on top of it? Is it they had no idea. So we just said, no, it's just the shot that he missed it is one shot.
But there wasn't a question whether someone was saying no, it was a practice swing.
No.
Okay.
No. He was like, no, I fair dinkum missed it. The funny part is, well, not funny, but that's the guy who finished second and lost by 1. So, poor Corker. Corker's
now that's
an air swing, and he was on 29 points through about 12, and finished on 37. Leader finished on 36, but with the 10 versus the 8 head start, he got him by 1. So, And probably the only thing Harves did poorly was he had a 40th birthday on Saturday night, so he didn't get to come out at the Sorrento Hotel and make use of the jacket.
I don't want to sound disrespectful to Corks because he's played very well all year to get into that position. But what does he play off?
I want to say Corker would be low to mid 20s, 22 to 25-ish, somewhere around there.
So what's he doing having an air swing on the tee ball?
Oh, don't know. I mean, yeah, I can't even answer it. I don't.
I've had a hosel on a par 3 in Division 1 pennant. It doesn't matter.
But you made contact.
You contacted it.
I think.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of contact. It was not far from being on the other side of the hosel.
Yeah, and it was the same. I think it was nerves. I mean, I would say that if I'm him and I'm on 29 points through 12 and the boys were winding him up, like we could hear him saying, "No, it's yours to lose from here," and they, everything was better. So they're winding him right up.
The pressure,
and then he's missed the ball off the tee. So, But anyway, they all had a good year, all the boys. It was a very, very big night. I think big thanks to Sorrento Hotel and then the Conti, the newly opened Conti, which I don't think we left the back dance floor until about, I don't know, 2 o'clock.
So what you should do is if anyone chokes, if anyone's got the lead going into like the last tournament and someone chokes, they should get like a ceremonial Greg Norman Akubra. You should find one of those ones on eBay, right?
Well,
whoever the leader is, if they don't close it out, they actually get the Akubra.
I don't want to make this all about GMGA, but I'll give you one quick story from one of our early years. We didn't do the same FedEx Cup style finish. We used to just play Stableford, and it was your average Stableford score over the year. But if you won an event, you got 1 Stableford point added to your average. So if your average over the year was 36 and you won one event, at the end your number was 37. But if you won the final, you got 1.5 points.
Oh.
And so the president, Diesel, had gone into the final round. I'm pretty sure it was Moona Lynx. Almost unbeatable. Like he almost had the tailors out to fit himself for the jacket. And that event, the final, came down to a putt-off because we had 2 people tied. And it was a Nick Serrano and Corker again. And they had the putt-off. And I think it went through about 3 or 4 different iterations that we couldn't get a winner. And we finally got a winner. It was Serrano. Nick wins. But because he got his 1.5 points, he actually ended up beating Diesel for the overall by like 0.02 of a point or something ridiculous.
He's Billy Horschelled him.
He absolutely stole it from him. And we do mention it to Diesel a little bit because we have a champions dinner every year. So every time we have a champions dinner, we have a nice photo, and Diesel gets the first photo. It says, "Here you go, mate. You missed out. Bad luck."
Yeah.
So Timmy Harves will be picking the champions dinner this year. So he'll be picking where we go out for dinner.
Well, Rocket, I'll come to you in a second, but there are tales like that in golf, left, right, and centre. One of the tales in golf that I wanted to just give a shout out and thank you to is the Mile of Golf podcast got a mention on one of Australia's top rating overall podcasts, not a sports podcast, but overall podcast, the Dylan Friends show today. Dylan Buckley interviewed Ryan Pappenhausen, who is obviously, I've known Dylan through his journey through football into golf. I fitted him for his first set of golf clubs. He just got a new set of Callaways. And he was interviewing Paps. Paps is a great bloke, Drummer Golf Ambassador, Tour Edge Exotics Ambassador. And they started talking. They gave us a bit of a shout out. Dill was very kind with his generosity and giving us a shout out. So thank you to Dill. It's a great podcast. Dill does a wonderful job interviewing all sorts of people, not just sports people, but just all sorts of interesting people. So please go and check Dill out. He will get Dill on the golf course very soon. Passionate golfer, gets a bit nervous on the tee. It's always interesting to see the athletes who get nervous on the tee. You know, they can kick goals in front of 50, 60, 100,000 people, but, put 5 people watching them hit a white golf ball around and they get a little bit jittery, and I always find that fascinating.
Have you been paying close attention to football? Because they're not that accurate these days.
No, Dill's old school. Dill was out of the back very fast. He was just carry, give it off. He's got a few goals that he likes to remind everyone that he kicked against. Who did he kick him against? Melbourne. And there's a couple of other great ones that he kicked. Just have to listen to the podcast. He's like me. He's good at reminding people of his achievements. Anyway, thanks. Rocket, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, good. Got your Rambo backdrop up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, congratulations to both of you guys. No, did you pick up Rambo in the end in the tipping? No, you didn't.
No, he was top of the data lake, but
yeah,
I don't like the favourites.
You and I went away.
Rocket does.
Rocket. Your strategy was 100% spot on, and it could be the master stroke.
It was a weak enough field, and I thought I need to just be aggressive, and I needed a win. And so selecting Rambo, and I wasn't watching the tournament because like, who's going to watch the Burrito Cup? I wasn't. All I just wanted him to do was win. So I was a bit nervous with about 4 or 5 holes.
There's 1 hole to go. Drive on 18 wasn't great.
Lucky I wasn't watching it.
No, that was probably the bits and pieces that I watched was just.
And unfortunately, I didn't watch a lot of golf this weekend. Miss Rocket was away back down in Melbourne for a couple of days. So then I was having to do all the house stuff. And then by the time she got back, I was a little bit sick for a couple of days. So a bit of laid up for a few days to try and sort of rest. So,
well, as I was following on the results and I started to sort of postulate about my pick, and I had Abraham answer. I thought, well, I should, if there's any other sort of local orientation, I'll pick Abe. And Abe got some money. Like I'm not sure if I've missed many cuts at all during the journey, but I've not picked the winner. But I started to think about the Rambo selection, and the more I thought about it, the more it absolutely made perfect sense to go with it, because my theory, and I think I mentioned last week, was to sort of hold him in that pocket there for maybe one of the upcoming majors. But I was listening to people talk about the Open, and it was Lee Westwood talking to. I've actually fallen a little bit back in love with the Rick Shields podcast. His interviews he does. He's got a producer now, and I went off it for a while. Not through because I don't like Rick Shields or anything like that, but I just stopped. I didn't have the occasion to listen to it, and I've started listening to it a little bit, and it's actually quite good. The guests are good, and he had a great interview with Lee Westwood, who I just love listening to. He just delivers it straight down the line. He's got the dry sense of humour. He gives it to Rick. It's good fun to listen to. But back to the point, he was talking about the field at this year's Open, and it's obviously everyone wants to play. I think it's going to be one of the most stacked fields of top level golfers. And why would you keep Rambo for that? I guess who do you pick? But so anyway, back to you, Rocket. It was a masterstroke. Well done.
Yeah, so it was good. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch a lot of golf this weekend. So I know I made the call out for the women's event, and I want to go back, at least watch the final round, because I just want to see the course. But yeah, so it was unfortunately not a lot of.
I watched a little bit of the women's event.
Actually, I do remember why I also wasn't watching it, because there's NFL draft this weekend as well. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday had me pretty cooked in the morning as well. So even though I was laid up in bed and snuggled up, I did have the alarm set so the draft would come on. So it's like I would open an eye so I could watch the draft.
And any for the draft followers, anything there that you need to report in on?
Nothing major. No, it was probably one of the more sort of. There's lots of little bits and pieces in terms of teams trading up into different positions and stuff like that, but it was nothing bombshell, earth-shattering, so to speak.
Okay. So, Mike, and you were talking about Rocket. What was Scotty's character? What was the Scotty's character name again?
Sergeant Brennan.
I think Scotty might have been fairly impressed with your knowledge about his backstory and character. Yeah, you might want to come onto the podcast. There was a communication, and maybe you're the man to lead that interview, Rocket, by the sounds of it.
No background needed.
No background needed. It's just all you. It's like it sounds like it's almost font-like knowledge, like you had with the shark, which many people came to me and congratulated us, but more so you on. I was with one of the colleagues today who's a director of drum and golf, and he was probably the first ever high-level drum and golf person that came to me and said, and he's not a golf director, he's like a retail specialist that came onto the board. And he came up to me one day, and I was trying to sort of keep the fact that I was doing this golf podcast a little bit quiet, a little bit secret, like, because I don't know, I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know how they'd react to it. I just thought, well, I'll let them react when they find out. And we're at this meeting, much the same as what I was at today. And he walked up to me and he just slapped me on the back. He'll be listening, Chris. Shout out to Chris. He slapped me on the back and said, "Ross, I love what you're doing with the podcast." And like, it was just in front of everyone. And I was like, "Oh, okay. It's out now." Anyway, Chris came to me today and just wanted me to pass on his congratulations to your font-like knowledge and recall of not just the 86 and 96 and the bits and bobs that went on in and around the shark around that, but just all of those other tragedies and downfalls.
All the other tragedies, I rode them all. They are etched in the memory.
Yeah, that no one really sort of thought about, and you just had it there like front of mind. It was great. So Chris wanted me to say thank you, as did a number of other people.
Thank you.
I had a couple as well.
Yeah.
A couple of boys on the weekend said that they were amazed at your knowledge. Thought they knew a bit about Greg Norman, but yeah, you had him covered.
Appreciate it.
Oh, there he's gone. He's gone. If you're watching the YouTube, he's gone a little bit embarrassed, a little bit red, but that's good. Talking about your boys from GMGA listening. Sorry, they can watch. Scotty McGregor listened. It was actually, congratulations to both of you. Our highest number of downloads in a single month in the history of the podcast. Last month, I just sort of share that with you firsthand as the month rolls up.
Overnight success takes a long time.
Well, what I do know, the consistency that you guys are prepared to front up with week in, week out, with the level of depth and breadth of research that we do, the planning that goes into it all, the coming
or don't.
All right. Okay. Someone messaged me.
That's me.
Just like someone messaged me and said, listen to the podcast. It's great. And I said, really? I said, just three blokes just jibber-jabbering about golf. And people want to hear this type of conversation. And now I talk about what people are telling us doesn't sort of make it like that, but it just blows me away every week that someone says, I just love listening in. And it's like being part of the conversation. And, you guys talk about the stuff that goes through my head, or the stuff that I want to talk to my mates about, but they don't understand it. And I wish I was sort of having that conversation, and you guys make me think that I'm having a conversation like that. Yeah. So what if it goes around in circles, and, sometimes you get the tips right. Sometimes you get them wrong. Sometimes you even get to give the tips. But it's fun. I got a new listener from Scotland just now, and just now on Instagram has been teeing up around a golf. It's just fantastic. I love it. I just love it. So thank you to you guys for being part of the continued success.
The thing is that all we're trying to do is, so like everyone can listen to, there's the ones that I listen to, right? It's like No Laying Up, Fried Egg, and Shotgun Start. They're quite common, right? That's more about, they're focused on the news and the events and other bits and pieces, and they got the interviews. I think what we present as unique is that we're just the average Joes, and we're talking about, yes, we talk about events and things like that, but we talk about things that are just normal stuff that happens every day. People that might be not so much gearheads, but we love sort of some of the older stuff. Like I'm a bit of a nerd, and I've talked a little bit about why I like buying some of the older stuff now, because I wasn't able to afford some of that when I was a kid and growing up. So it's like this little bit of nostalgia that I want to grip onto. We talk about just, like Mike talking about the GMGA, talking about just a group of blokes just doing fun things, right? So people that might be listening to this might go, hey, there's a heap of us that do that. Why don't we go and do that? Or just things that normal people that enjoy golf like to do. And all that we ask of those people is if they get something from it, that's great, but also help share the message. So, share this podcast and other things that we do with your fellow golfing colleagues to spread the word, because that's all we're trying to do. We're just normal blokes trying to do stuff. Like I was thinking about it today, like before we're talking about this, when you said, what do we got to talk about? And I said, my journey on trying to teach introducing the trio to golf, right? So how many other people out here that are trying to bring their kids or introduce their kids to golf? Where do they start? What are the things they need to think about? Because like for me thinking about what I had to do to go to get introduced to golf, some of it I'm like, there was no real plan or strategy. It just sort of happened. I didn't really have lessons. There's all these other things where it's like, I've got this other knowledge. I'm like, I want to put them on the right path a little bit earlier so they can probably enjoy it more a bit later. But at the same time, I don't want to make it not fun. So it's like, what's that journey going to be like? And me being able to share some of those stories and maybe that helps someone else that's a listener out there. And that's all we do. We try and have fun. We share stories. People can learn some stuff. People can sit out in their back porch, having a liquid sandwich, easy listening. That's what we're about. Maybe if I get a little bit sick again, I can get that deep baritone radio voice going.
The baritone radio voice. How old are the Triplets?
11.
Okay. We don't usually put shout outs for we don't have a official sponsor. I say that we are supported by Drummer Golf. Of course, they afford me the time to be able to do this. And now I'm a little bit more free to talk about the world of Drummer Golf. And as you know, you can get anything in golf at Drummer Golf. But we don't usually do shout outs for sponsorship. And this is not planned. Nothing's really planned. If you are a coach in Brisbane, you want to take on a project of coaching some triplets, 11-year-old triplets. Obviously the Rocket Man, has got golf lessons to pay for ×3. We know the cost of a golf lesson. If you want to take on a project and, give insights into the world of coaching juniors, in specific triplets, reach out and we'll pass, we might be able to pass you on a candidate.
Two boys and a girl. I've already gone and signed up for this term. We're at Golf Central near the airport.
Oh, yes.
So Quinton, who's the pro there, he's just had a bubby, and so he's just come back. We had Kieran last week. He's gentle giant. He's a very good man. So they're week 2.
Uh-huh.
And I was almost going to go run off and, I wanted to buy them little clubs and stuff like that. And they were getting all excited about different wood head covers. And I'm like, I think I need to temper myself. Like, let's find out if at week 10 they enjoy it. And then so the thing I talked about with them tonight. So on Saturday, planning to go up to Drummond in Virginia. So Wayne and Lona. So I want to go in there and see if we've got, whether or not got them in stock or anything, just get 1 or 2 kids clubs each. And I've taken a little bit of a leaf out of the Scotty Scheffler book, and I'm thinking, how do I get them to start to learn how to grip it properly? So I want to get those clubs with the training grips on them from the start. So they can have good technique right from the start. So they're actually really excited about, the trip we'll do up the freeway to Drummond, Virginia.
I might have a couple I'll have to find 3. There's no good having a couple because that would be terrible for sending a couple. Maybe if one's better than 2, but 3 is better. I might have some of those that I've had for ages in the shop. Speaking of Wayne and Lona, once again, totally unplanned. I was with Wayne and Lona today, but yesterday we were on the range at Peninsula Kingswood, and you may have seen me post some pictures previously about the Full Swing Golf Kit, which is the launch model that Tiger Woods is developed with conjunction with Full Swing Golf, which he's an investor in. So as Jeff Ogilvy said, when I let Jeff Ogilvy hit it at the Vic Open, pretty confident if Tiger's got his name on it that it's going to be good, because he is the out and out, nothing gets past him if it doesn't work. I was demonstrating it to all of my colleagues because I've been testing it out, and Wayne was one of the first ones to come up and have a hit. He was warming up, wasn't hitting that great, and I might have had a bit of a, secretly trying to put some of my colleagues off. I thought I might have fancied my chance on home turf. That backflipped pretty quickly after a double bogey start. But I thought I might just try and get into the head of a few of these players on the range. And Wayne wasn't hitting that great, but he was enjoying hitting on the full swing kit. Lona was there. I said, "Oh, g'day, Lona. Just thanks for looking after Rocket with his travel bag." And she said, "Oh, it was great to meet him," all that sort of thing. Well, guess who goes out and shoots 74 and wins the bloody thing? Wayne Rostron from Drummond Golf, Virginia. Congratulations to you, Wayne. PGA Pro, working at Drummond Golf, Virginia, coaching out of there. He's got a big swing venue. It's one of the newer stores up there, Virginia, which is stone's throw from the Sharks' old course up there in Banyo, Virginia Golf Club, where the great Shane Tate played, where Greg Norman played. Big shop. Got this big swing golf on the right. Sound like very much like an ad, but I just thought Wayne, he won the event, shot 74. When, you know, there are some fantastic golfers in the Drummond Golf franchisee fraternity, many PGA golf professionals, many scratch and plus markers, and probably, you know, there's a couple of teens, low teens, tens. Me, it's sort of 5, 6 sort of thing. A couple of me, but the 30 in the Stableford, 34 points was the highest. The pins were tucked into those gnarly, nibbled in pieces of the Peninsula Kingswood greens.
You playing north or south?
North. We played north. Ooh. And it was short tees, but the pins were all tucked in behind, and it was brutal for the people that had never seen it before.
So it's like first hole would have been like that sort of back right pin or something like that?
100% up near the this is how my first hole went. I was flying the drone, taking some pictures. I did the staff shot on the putting green with the drone. And fortunately it was a shotgun start. I had tee position 1A. You've made it somewhere in Drummond Golf at the franchisee day. If you get 1A, you're playing with the chairman and the ambassadors. Something's gone right for you. So there must have been reward for taking the group photo. I had to pack it all up and I ran to the tee. "G'day, Elisa. G'day, Mitch. I'm Ross. How you going? Let's go." Whacked the 4-iron down the middle. Pulled out my 9-iron, just lasered it at the pin. I thought, yes, I'm on. This trophy is mine. I am ready to accept winning back into my life. I'm ready. I get up there. It's pitched next to the pin and rolled into the bunker. Right at the time when Brett Ogle comes running up in a car, going, "G'day, Flano, how you going? How did you hit it? Why did you hit it there, Flano?" I try and lob it out, short-sighted. I hit it off. I was talking about nearly missing it. I shouldn't laugh. I nearly missed it, trying to nip it up. And I hit it pretty much back down to where I hit the second shot from. Ran off the front of the green, down the hill and back down. Made a six. There's a start. Welcome to golf.
Let me guess, 2 was back right?
Yep. 2 was back right. And I've thought I'd fly to 6-iron, compressed it, bit of a fade into that back right pin, and the wind caught it and pushed it right to the right bunker into the bush. And anyway, nearly made a birdie on the next, but it was made a birdie on the 4th, but it was done by then. Anyway.
Was the pin on 6 front right?
6, yes. 6 up the hill, yes.
Yeah, yep. Nice.
Front.
That's the hardest pin on the planet.
And once again, I was still sniggering. I walked up there. Mitch hit his ball down up there off the 5th, and someone's over the back left there. You know how you can't go at that because it just feeds everything down to the left. I said, "Oh, the old left pin got you there, did it, Kevin?" And they, "Oh yeah," and everyone was down there. And of course, yeah, that's when it all unraveled. Anyway, it was good. Brett Ogle, very funny man. Congrats, Wayne. And Lona, thanks for looking after the Rocket. We've got your new customer.
Oh, and they got to meet the trio too when I bought the bag.
Oh, really?
With me. Yeah, they're with me. So we'll be back there again on Saturday. Can't wait.
Oh, well, make sure you book a big swing simulator session and try the showdown. Yeah, there's all the sports games anyway. It's all good fun. Good. But keep them at it. And if anyone does want to offer up some lesson time, just hit us up. No worries. What's next? So we had Rambo. He won. Anything else of any note that you guys watched? I didn't watch much of it. I was too busy making a full swing kit video with Jeff Ogilvy and yada, yada, yada.
The Rambo did win, and Rocket did pick the winner in the tips. I should go for everyone else that had Rambo because there was a couple of others. Chipper, Dion, the Brown Hornet, Ro Adams, Zach Ginevra, Nick Bloody Smith, the doctor.
Didn't he let us know it too, by the way?
He did let us know. And Rocket all had the winner. All had John Rahm for 1.3 million going in. Shermanator still leading. Shermanator at just over 7 million. Nomadic Golfer 5.6. Public Golf 5.5. Golf Labyrinth 4.9. Doctor up into 4.8 and very proud of himself in fifth. For us, Rocket
I can feel this middle part of the season.
Rocket's just catching fire. He's flown. He's rocketed, as they would say, up to 18th. He's not that far. You really only one win out of the top five. I'm in 32nd at 2.6 and Roscoe 2.4, 36. So, yeah, we're down the back.
Just languishing, with 30,000. This is must how it feel to be a PGA Tour player. Just finishing mid pack and watching, a handful of your mates getting, winning 7 million, and you're just picking up 30 grand checks, or you can just slipping back down the leaderboard.
Aaron Wise this week, I thought I'd got onto an absolute flyer. He was, I think he shot 7 under round one, and then he had 75 in round two. Maybe he's 5 under, 6 under. But he basically, he's finished T6, 14 under, 3 off the lead with a 75 in round two. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. Any sort of form, he really should have been giving Rahm a shake for that win. And you had Abe Answer, was it?
I had Abe Answer.
Yeah, so he was just plugged around that sort of even par. He finished 6 under. But yeah, the guys that were bit compressed in the middle, but yeah, obviously Rahm and a couple others kicking away up to 16, 17 under.
Tony Finau, the perpetual second place getter, was up there. Kurt Kitayama. Was Kurt Kitayama the Kitayama that played in Europe for a wee bit?
Yeah. Same man. So back on the US tour now, playing good golf, actually, very good golf. And he had 64 round one. So he was one of the tied leaders at the start of the week. But yeah, Finau round 463 course record. So someone else shot course record in the morning. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, they ended up getting beat in the afternoon with Finau 63, and someone else shot.
Every time I hear Tony Finau, I think about where is he been now? I can't. Yeah. I watched the Chris Vernon interview with the subpar guys.
Yeah.
And then I've started watching all the other videos where there's certain little names that he's come up with people. And I'm like dying of laughter, like the Will Zalatoris one. Sounds like he's in a shop in a shopping mall.
The Tony Finau, you can't get it out of your head once you hear it in that song. You cannot.
Yeah, apparently, I've got to find the footage, but apparently when he's on the 16th at TPC Scottsdale, the crowd were yelling it out.
Of course.
So what happened? I missed it. I haven't heard it, but
so it started in 2019. This guy, Chris Vernon, does the Masters update. You've seen the one where he's talking about there's nothing going on in Augusta, and he's got the glasses on with the gold chains and the green jacket and like the mascots behind him.
Bees dancing behind him.
Yeah, exactly. Weird. It's just and it's like, and he's just reading off the leaderboard, and the guy who's his producer, there's no script or anything like that. It's just it's all ad-libbed on the spot, and he's like, Tony Finau's 2 under. Tony Finau, where has he been now? And it's like, it just kept going, and he's just repeating stuff over and over again. And some of the names and some of the little things that he would just make up, like the Will Zalatoris, he goes, Will Zalatoris, he sounds like a store in a mall. Will Zalatoris sounds like a store in a mall. It's just all these little lines. And it's like 7 or 8 minutes of just some of the funniest stuff where he does, like after each round, he does this little clip. And it's just taken off. Like it's absolutely just taken off.
I'll have to have a look at it.
Masters week. You got to wait. Yeah.
But go watch the interview with him. So Chris Vernon with Subpar. It's a phenomenal interview. It's so good. The guy is electric, and his story is fantastic.
Subpar, is that Colt Nost?
Yeah.
Colt and Drew Stoltz, sleazy man.
Yeah, that's it. Sleazy.
Yeah. Anyway, looking at the results here, I would have been better probably. I've already picked Aaron Rice, so he would have that. But speaking of other podcasts, and we've seemed to be doing a little bit of it, so let's continue with that theme. I started listening to halfway through the No Laying Up interview with Thagala. Have you either of you two guys listened to that?
I'm about the same. I was halfway through
that one.
Yeah,
and then flicked over to the Mexico review.
It seems like a great guy, good story. Just playing pretty well. So good luck to Mr. Thagala for the rest of this year. He should hopefully goes all right. Where did my guy Abe Ansay? He was T42. Yeah, let us down a little bit down there with Kevin Nah. But all right,
Kevin Nah.
What else do we have? We had the Marina Alex. So Marina Alex took out the
she did
the Palos Verdes Championship at Palos Verdes Golf Club. Jin Young Ko.
Hannah Green really let me down there. She was my bet this week on the LPGA, and she was leading after the second round and the third round, and just had a bit of a scrappy even par final round. She really battled on the weekend for the first 3 or 4 holes. I think she had 2 bogeys in the first 3 holes, both of the Saturday and Sunday. Really struggled. But again, we talked about it the other week. Aussies on that West Coast. Hannah Green played really, really well, and Minji was really right up there at the start of the week as well, and she finished 13th. So,
and the other thing as well, it's good to see. It's really good to see Lydia Ko actually playing really good form, really good week in, week out.
Yeah.
Actually, Minji Lee's little interview, if you've seen the clip, that was quite funny.
The Lydia Ko one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to my wife about it today. She said, "That's great. It's good." I said, "Absolutely, it's good." Just funny because I
left him speechless. But the thing is, though, I think I can't remember the episode where we talked. I think this is a while ago, Ross, that we talked about, and I think it was when Stacey Lewis had taken a year off, and I was having a little rant on the disadvantages that women take because of just, they've got to take time off to have children and all that sort of stuff. And then how they basically almost like lose status, and there's all these other disadvantages, and there's no umbrella for them to protect their career. And then, Minji Lee's interview when she's talking about, it's like another thing that women have to deal with that I never thought about impacting them just playing golf. Never thought about it. And it's like, it was just, again, it's another one of those things that they have to deal with.
If, like me, you haven't seen that interview, where should you go and look that up?
Insta.
Yeah, Instagram or be on the Golf Channel.
Yeah.
Basically, the story is just for anyone who doesn't get to find it. Effectively, at the end of the round, the commentator asked her, like at some point in the round, she's getting some physio, some treatment. They said, "Is everything okay? Is there anything you need to worry about long term?" And she said, like, "Well, no." And she paused for a second and said, "Well, it's actually just that time of the month. And when I'm, effectively getting cramps, my back gets all twisted up and sore and knotted up, and effectively get the physio to really just get me a massage and settles my back down a bit." And easy answer, but that is certainly not what the commentator was expecting her answer to be, and it just threw him for a loop. But it was really good. Like he she answered it, could not have answered it better. And my wife, who doesn't like golf, follow golf, I was even talking to that story in the last couple of days, and she said, "Yeah, well, what else was she was going to say?" I'm like, no, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying it's really good that she said that. And she's like, "Yeah, it's great."
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It looks like we've got another. We should. I need to keep an eye on the LPGA Tour for a top Scot, Gemma Drybra. You might call it Dryberg, but I'd call it Drybra. Finished at T21, so we'll keep an eye out for Gemma. My friend Gabrielle McDonald is what was trying to come out before something got stuck in my throat. Made the cut on the weekend. She probably hasn't had the greatest time in Australia, but she was up there with family on the Gold Coast. Made the cut at the New South Wales Women's Open, which, talking about tips, leading into the tips, Mike, I think you had that covered. Well,
purely by fluke, yeah.
You heard it here first.
We didn't know who Marja Stark was.
Maya Stark, yeah.
And
Game of Thrones.
We noted that she was, she was from the family of Starks. That
Don't mess
she
with
was the
them.
favourite, and we didn't know her, and we looked at a little bit of research, and yeah, the money was right. She won.
She's legit.
Well.
15 under. Johanna Gustafsson was a European stacked leaderboard for the first 4 positions. Magdalena Simmermarker from Argentina. Michelle Thompson from Scotland. Yes, we had a Scot up there in T4, but also Cassie Porter. Now, I've interviewed Cassie Porter on the Mental Mastery Golf podcast. She's a fun young golfer who turned pro at the start of the year. From Sunshine Coast, plays out of Perigian up there, knows Herbie, that sort of thing. Really great young golfer. So she's got a lot of talent. Good to see her, get a result in that T4 position. Lydia Hall's been out here in Australia, pretty much played all of the player series and stayed over until I think she'll probably go back and play the rest of the LET now that the swing heads back to Europe, into the warm parts of Europe, and the season's finished here. But Lydia Hall, great golfer. She's, I think, been an Order of Merit winner on the Ladies European Tour some time ago. Welsh, solid golfer. And young Sarah Hammett in T8, rounding out the leaderboard there, young amateur. Good to see. What else? Harrison Endicott was a great result for a young Aussie man out there on the Corn Ferry Tour. I don't know a lot about Harrison Endicott. I'm sure there's probably a couple of Australian podcasts that have interviewed him. Go and check those out. The 19th too, they've probably done Harrison Endicott interview. But it's just good to see a young man, very emotional, obviously had some ups and downs in his career. Emotional at the win, rightly so. But what does that get him for winning on the Corn Ferry? Does that get you automatically into the PGA Tour, or no, it just gets you more points for the end of season?
No, he's just earning more money to try and finish in that top 25.
Top 25, yep. So just a reminder, top 25 automatically get promoted.
Yep.
The others come down, and then there's the playoffs for the rest.
There's another race for 25, and then there's some other just weird stuff that they have at the end of the season. It's like
the
it's
final gets in, and only it's all.
There's so many other things where it's like if you play these 3 events and you're here in the world ranking, it's like I don't know. It's like a Rubik's cube.
Yeah, that's like how Aaron Rye and Herbie sort of just came in, went bang bang. There's your tour card. You can't get beaten in this final series, and then you move on. So Harrison gets some more money, he gets some more points, and he'll hopefully finish. That gets him towards. They reckon if you win sort of once and have a couple of good few top 10s, like you pretty much get that sort of solidified. That's enough to do the numbers to get the points right.
Yeah, I think it's like if you get 2, it's like it's pretty much sort of a guarantee.
Yeah, I think they still do Battlefield for 3. If you get 3 in a season, I think you automatically get a provisional card still.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, automatic elevation, I think.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But, I mean, he's and I didn't know much about the win as well and didn't know much about him either. But, I mean, he's shot 63, 67, 64, 70. He's won by 5. So he hasn't just snuck in. He's won by 5. Some of the names underneath, Eric Barnes, Chris Ventura, Sam Saunders, these guys have been playing on and off PGA Tour. Justin Sir, I mean, he's beaten a reasonable field. Josh Teeter, I've had a look at his data golf page, and I mean, it's funny because you don't get the strokes gained data off the Corn Ferry Tour, but if you look at him this year, he hasn't been going too well. He's probably only had 1 tournament where he's finished above the field in strokes gained, strokes gained average. He finished T19. That was back at the Bahamas in January. The last couple of weeks, he's, or the last 3 tournaments he's had a cut. He's T65 and then cut again. And I mean, he's lost 3 and a bit strokes to the field. This week, he's beaten the field 2.8 strokes to beaten this above the field average, and had a win. It's just one out of the box. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, his Corn Ferry rank, he was 103 before the win, and now he's 12th.
There you go. So yeah, straight up.
Yeah, and his interview, which is on Go to the Corn Ferry Instagram, was quite interesting, right? He's like not enjoying golf. I can't remember if he said he didn't hate it. He said he's not having a lot of fun, not liking it, and not expecting that. Maybe it was one of those things, right? He's just kind of let go and just thought, whatever.
Yeah, can happen,
and it's paid off.
Exactly right. Exactly right. let's keep chalking on. Catalunya Championship. I didn't watch a lot of that. I was too busy at the night time. I had this nighttime work over the weekend.
You missed out.
I did.
You missed out. And the followers, I know Hammer Towel and Ginger Ninja, I think it was, both messaged me. They were very happy because on the Secret Squirrel Twitter account, the winner was on there in the picks. He was about 40-1, Adriano. And he shot a lazy 7 under in the final round to catch up to the leader, and the leader couldn't get there. I think he went to about 6 playoff holes. And Becker, Oliver Becker.
Ollie Becker,
yeah. So I know wins in his first, and it was in Spain on home turf. So he was a very, very happy man, and there was a couple of very happy My Lover Golf followers, which was good.
You mentioned the secret Twitter there. How does one find that? Like without giving away?
If they message you or me, we can pass it on.
Okay. All right.
That'll be the best way to find out.
Okay.
And the last 2 weeks, it's had back-to-back winners in Europe. So I think it was Hammertail told me that I can't say that. He said that I need to change the name of my Twitter account to European Tour Tips, because that's pretty much what I'm good at now. So but I won't say what it was from. But yeah, no, it was good. And it's good for me because it means I get another pair of shoes.
Hammertail up there in Branxton. Well done. If you collected off the back of the secret Twitter tips, well done. And also the Ginger Ninja up there in Stawell, Victoria. Laurie Cantor, he was going along quite nicely. Didn't finish it off. Who else was going up there that I was watching? I did watch a little bit. Ryan Fox. Always like watching Ryan Fox. I love watching Foxy. I just love watching Foxy give it a roost, and side of the commentary team. But Foxy must have had a bad round in there somewhere because he was leading for a little bit, -6. Best Aussie down there was Scrivo, T18th. Wade missed the cut. Top Scott, Davey Law, and not much else to report. Maverick Ancliffe made the cut, +4 in the end, and not much else. So what about this week? What about this week, gentlemen's?
This week in Europe, they're off to the Betfred.
The
Betfred British Masters.
British Masters
presented by Danny Willett.
Boring.
Belfry, correct.
What's boring? Betfred British Masters.
Belfry.
Is it at the British Masters at the Belfry? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the Belfry Rocket.
Outside of the 10th hole.
Oh, we've talked about this in the past, haven't we? Because the Belfries they redid that, didn't they? And they took away some of the holes that you liked. Is that right?
No.
What was that?
They've had 50,000 Ryder Cups there.
Yeah,
and
that's all I'm thinking.
The 10th hole is great, and then that's it.
Is the 10th hole the one with the water around the back of it?
Yeah. No, the front.
Yeah.
But they would have the tees up. So back in the old days, you could have it. Could you?
Yeah.
Drivable and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the famous one that Sebi, I think, knocked it on and
roosted one over the trees. Yeah.
Yep.
Was that did they have a Ryder Cup there when Azinger hold it out of the bunker? Was that somewhere else?
Oh, no, that was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Belfry was 85, 89. Actually, was Belfry 89, 85? I think it could have been Glen Eagles. And 89. Then they were back there again in like 93. Then it was Valderrama in 97. And I think it was I don't think they had it back there again. Trying to remember the Azinger one.
That's 2002. But I don't know what course it's at. Oh, it is the Belfry. Yeah.
Okay. Who do we fancy? Who do we fancy for that?
Look, I'm going to give a plug to a Twitter handle for anyone out there who does like having a look at these things and they want to have a look at probably the godfather of data lakes. A guy called his Twitter handle Smart Golf Bets. His name's Mike. He's a Kiwi. He's a very interesting man, but he shares up all of his data lakes every week. And for the Euro Tour, he's quite cool. For all around the world, he basically sets up an Excel spreadsheet that you can look at, and he lists this person's recent form and then their form at this course, no matter where you are. And the recent form could be whether you're playing on the Nationwide Tour or this or that. It's all there. So I've literally just had a really quick look at his lists and cross-checked Mike's lists. The names that I came up with, I think Cantor might go okay again. Adrian Maronk, is that how we say it? And then I've got a bunch of South Africans that I think might go okay. It was Henny du Plessis. He's absolutely on fire at the moment. He's playing unbelievable golf. Daniel Van Tonder's going pretty well. Justin Harding, Ollie Becker obviously went well last week, and Dean Burmester is the other South African. But somewhere working around those, haven't made a pick yet, but it will be a couple of those I'll probably have a look at.
Is Westy playing at that?
Haven't. Oh, yes, he is.
He is. I thought so. Yes.
Yeah. The favourites are Bobby Mack, Maronk. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Maronk. Sam Horsfield, Arno will struggle to go back to back. Jordan Smith always finds a way to lose. Laurie Cantor, Rasmus Hojgaard, Danny.
I was just about to say what you said. If I get that right?
No.
Don't worry, Mike. If you don't, I'll always correct you.
It's always Hojgaard.
Hojgaard, I think, is the way that it's
Hojgaard, yeah. Well,
Rasmus Hojgaard and Nikolai Hojgaard.
Yeah, the Bombers. Oh well, Nikolai.
But you can go with Hojgaard if you like.
No, I'm not going to go Hojgaard.
All right.
Danny Willett, Dean Mermester, and Lee Westwood, and then Nikolai. So there you go. And then Ollie Becker and Richard Blaine. And Ryan Fox, Thomas Tetry. There's a few people playing.
I'm going to go with Westy. There you go, because I listened to him and I like Westy. I'm a Westy fan.
Warming up for the Saudi event.
Yeah. It's getting closer.
Oh, he'll be playing.
He'll be playing.
The rumor today was Greg said after Greg, third leg, Greg had said they had 15 of the top 50 signed until Phil lost the plot, and now it's 15 of the top 100. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Be very interesting. Well, we'll be a month away.
Rocket,
have you had a look at it all, Rocket?
Anything from you on the the ongoing developments with third leg Greg Jeepers? I can't believe you said that. CQ company might have got away. Any more on the development with?
That's a no laying up nickname. I like it.
Anything from you, Rocket, on that? Any developments from your end that's passed your eyes?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, keep moving on. Tips for the PGA Tour at TPC Potomac.
Potomac. Now,
former home of guest of the podcast, Stephen Britton. He tended the greens and managed that course while. What was there? The Wells Fargo. What else did he cover there? It was always the Wells Fargo.
Quicken Loans.
Sorry, my bad.
So Stephen,
before that, it was the Kemper Open.
That was the Kemper. So Stephen has firstly said, big shout. He said, say good day to Ross. Got some inside tips from Stephen this week. Just checking on the course and who he thinks is going to win. And he said they've had 8 mils of rain there, because I think he played the course the other day, and he's at Chevy Chase on up the road. With more rain forecast during the week, I'd say it'll play long and on the soft side. We've had one of the coldest Aprils we can remember, so the rough hasn't totally woken up yet. It won't be very thick like it was when they used to play the tournament in July. In his opinion, look for someone that hits it straight, is a good iron player, really small greens, hard to hit, past 70, only 2 par 5s, and it's loaded with tough par 4s. So if you can figure out who ticks those boxes, you've got your winner.
I talked about plugs and advertising and all that sort of thing, which we don't do a lot of. I'm going to give a plug to us, because I'd challenge anyone outside of maybe the fried egg that can get a message to their listeners from the former director of agronomy at this week's PGA Tour course. If you can find me another Australian podcast that can get you tips coming down to the data lake specialist from the former director of agronomy who lives and works down the road but used to tend the greens at this place, bring that to me. But Steve Britton, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Stephen.
Give us your insights on any of the PGA Tour courses that you've either worked at or been to. We'd appreciate that greatly. What a great man to have a game of golf with too, by the way.
Or because they haven't even released the field yet, have they?
No. Well, not that I can see here. Have you got it?
Yep. Who do you like? Oh, you don't know.
Don't know. It's not on Google.
Oh, Google won't help you.
Sorry.
I will tell you. I will give you the top. I'll read through. Rory.
It's in Teepster.
It is in Teepster.
Yeah.
I'll just give you the favourites from the top. Rory, Corey Connors, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tony Finau, Abe Ansah, Russell Henley, Gary Woodland, Keegan Bradley, Seamus Power, Tyrrell Hatton, Cameron Young, Mark Leishman, Max Homer, Paul Casey, Siwoo Kim, Webb Simpson, Matt Kuchar, Sergio Garcia, Jason Day, and then we're starting to stretch.
It's got Rory written all over it.
Has Rory won this event before?
Yeah.
I think he's won the Wells, but it would have been.
But not here. It was at
Hollow.
Quail Hollow.
Right, yeah.
But the thing is, though, if it's playing wet, because I know that when it was the Quicken loans, I think I was looking at the data before. I think Abe Answer had finished high one of the years. I think
he did
when it was back here. When it was the Quicken,
he did. Good news is the data lake is it's my data lake, so I can do what I like. Instead of pulling in the results,
damn, I've already used McElroy.
Instead of pulling in the results from the Wells Fargo, I've pulled in the Quicken loan results, so I can have a look at that straight away. Abe Answer finished 4th the last time I was here at TPC Potomac. Yeah,
but if it's going to play long, it's right. It's not in his.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those ones like I think you balance up what Stephen's feedback was, and it probably ticks what you would think, right? So it's going to play
like a little
long.
bit of. You almost like need a little bit of everything.
Exactly, because you're going to need to be long if it's a little bit wet, but you need to hit greens. And even if the rough isn't very long, if it's damp at all, you don't want to be anywhere near it. So you got to be straight.
Hit a lot of the fairways.
Correct.
Greens being good around the greens as well.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of people that are long and straight. It just doesn't work that way. The longer you get, the more offline you are.
Yeah.
Decent money. Like I'm just trying to think, am I keeping?
Yeah.
Once again,
9 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least 1.3, 1.5, somewhere around there for first prize.
So silly me starts to think, I should keep Rory for a major. No, there's only 3 majors to go. And, I probably kept 8 players for a major. So that's dumb. So I'm going to have to start pulling out some big guns. I might go with Rory. There you go. Seeing Rocket can't. I don't think I've tipped Rory. So
there you go. Sneaky.
I'm going to pull the Rory card. And I guess when I get to the Open on the Tuesday beforehand, I'll probably still have enough time to make my tip live from the ground. So I'll
don't miss
go
it.
through my list.
And the director of marketing will be on the ground at the PGA tour. So the PGA, so he will. So
talk about the PGA, yeah. I'll give you some time, Rocket. Look, the data lake comes up with, I won't tell you who's on top. I'll tell you who's second. Cameron Young, Corey Connors, Russell Henley, Max Homer, Matt Fitzpatrick, Mark Leishman, Luke List. Of the guys that are there, and I've cross-checked with the data lake stats versus how they've gone at this tournament. The guys that I've got on top are Abe Ansah, Cameron Young, Mark Leishman. I'm going to find a 4th person, but the one that I'm going to be picking is Keegan Bradley. So Keegan Bradley is coming up. It's one of those ones when I did the sums and he came up on top in the data, and then he has only played here once and he finished 5th. He finished 4th at the Zurich and 8th at the Valero in his last 2 starts. And I thought, wow, I found some magic here. This is too good to be true. He's got form at the course. The data says he should finish on top, and he's got historical good form coming in. And I reckon he's about 100 to 1. He'd have to be. It's Keegan Bradley. I went and had a look. He's like $35. I'm like, of course he is. So he's my pick. He's going to be my one and done this week, Keegan Bradley. And I can guarantee I haven't used him because why would I? It's Keegan Bradley.
it's Keegan.
Sums it up. The stuff I looked at was strokes gained approach, off the tee, driving distance, like we talked about. I've changed the percentages on them so that they weight them differently.
I've gone Cameron Young, the young gun.
Cameron Young, yeah. No, good pick. Yeah, look, Cameron Young rates probably the best overall. And the only thing he rates poorly in is strokes gained approach. Everything else, he's off the charts better than anybody. Good golfer.
Yeah, and I think if the rough's a little bit thin, it might work in his favour.
Yep.
Okay. Cameron Young.
No one else knows that, just us and Stephen.
Keegan, Rory, Cameron. Done?
In.
Okay. There you go. If anyone wants to share their tips with us, please in advance, please feel free to do that. We can share them out. Who knows? I want to announce a little winner too. By the way, winner of I said I'd do a giveaway. Darren Coburn is the winner of the towel and the hat. By the way, so Darren Coburn, I'll get the towel and hat to you. Congrats.
What did he do? I can't remember.
He won.
Good.
He's a winner. So
I'll tell you what I'll do this week. I'm going to give away something. Please only open to people in Australia because I don't know how I'd send it. I know. Anyway, just how you go.
Well, yep.
All you got to do is comment on the video. Who you think's going to win and why? That's it.
Okay.
And I'll pick one.
I'll
put them in a hat and draw and spin the wheel
for a King Island cheese pack.
If they're in Australia, I will figure out if they'll be cheese, and if they're not in Australia or they're in a tough to get to place, it'll be some sort of King Island gift. Yeah.
Okay. The Laguiole knife.
Possibly a knife, possibly a board with a nice wooden board with some little cheese cutlery or something.
I'm being the self-appointed king of pronunciations. If anyone wants to tell me exactly what those knives, those French knives that you see with the rhinestone handle type thing that you can get them for the cheese or the steak knife. So that you see them at those upmarket knifery and cutlery places. Is it Laguiole? If anyone from French background wants to help me understand how to say Laguiole, because I've got one of those King Island cheese knives.
Dangerous. That's what it should be called.
No, I'm in the wrong hands. If you've got young triplets that might want to fight over the cheese knife as they're fighting over the King Island Brie rocket, that's dangerous. But no, in my hands, the only thing that's dangerous is what's going into it and how much of it's going into my gobula.
If there's any King Island Brie in this house, they know the role. They know. There's no fights over it because
anyway, you
Daddy's got full control of that.
What is in the King Island merch cabinet down there at King Island HQ? Yeah, when you lots. There's a bit of. Yeah, is it like a chef's apron? It's like a chef's apron or something like that?
Yeah, that sort of stuff, yeah. But right. There's a shop online. People can go there and shop. Obviously King Island's pretty tough to get to.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the majority of people that would come through the shop would be golfers. I mean, everyone that's going up to Wickham goes straight past the dairy and the shop. And on the way home, they'll stop there, especially if they're on one of the Air Adventure tours. I know they stop through every time they come past. It's part of the trip.
Heidi would be probably Heidi from King Island down there driving the bus, and Heidi is the purveyor of. She's got a gin distillery and a small distillery down there. That's her passion project, and she sells stuff. So she probably drives them past the distillery as well on the way back to the airport. Okay, so you think they've got King Island golf merch that you might be able to? Oh, okay.
No golf merch. No, it's not that sort of shop. It's Claire and can't remember the girls' names, but Claire's there. But the girls have been there forever and working very hard. So make sure you're in there. Make sure you say good day.
This is the sample hoodie that I got done last winter. That's rode the winter out, and it's obviously got another gig coming in now. Do you want a hoodie? You want a My Love of Golf hoodie? Do you think we should? I'm leading towards the merch. Should we get into this merch stuff? So we try and, rather than me giving it away, I don't like taking money. I like giving stuff away. But sometimes someone's got to pay. Someone's got to pay. Should we try and flog a couple of t-shirts and hats? Let me know what you think.
Yep.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Just have all my little catch cries on there.
Well,
custom t-shirts, limited edition.
If someone does, look, I'm going to let's start with this. If someone wants a t-shirt, right? This is a giveaway. I'll give this away. You can comment on Mike's on the video. What was the criteria, Mike?
All you got to do is say who's going to win this week and why.
Or if you've got a favorite rocket-ism, we'll pick a rocket-ism, or someone will get the cheese pack and someone will get a rocket-ism custom t-shirt. I'll send them a custom t-shirt with their favorite rocketism printed on it. It will be a special design, one-off with a rocketism, and we reserve the right to print that in bulk mass production based on its success. But you will get the first one. There you go.
Are you ready, Ross?
For what?
That's how you say it. It's a French man saying it for you.
One more time. Legular. You might get a legular knife.
Beautiful. Past 11 o'clock at all, is it?
Beautiful knife. Well, we did talk about.
No one's listening to this.
Hey, we talked about at the start. What are we talking about? Well, we don't know. We'll just we'll get it done. We'll just get it done. We'll get it done. I said last time we said we'd get it done, it went for an hour and 20. And it was one of the most successful episodes we had. We're now at an hour and 15. We're sitting here dribbling like fools. But people keep telling me that they like listening to the three men dribbling like fools. Anyway, I think that's enough of it for tonight. Anything else? Great. The nods of the head suggest that we're all done, silent, done, dusted. Everyone, thanks for listening. All the stuff, if you've listened this far, like, share, subscribe. You've probably already liked, shared, subscribed 75,000 times trying to win something that we give away. If you are listening this far, we appreciate you. And we'll see you next week on the My Love of Golf podcast.